Alright, I want to start this out by setting a scene. You are playing a tabletop role-playing game, and you have a genius plan to outwit your game master. Fool. They'll never see it coming. You don't want your DM spoiling the fun, of course, so you keep the plan secret. You ask a couple questions just to make sure, just to make absolutely certain that your plan is going to work. And then, at the 11th hour, when all hope seems lost, and the other players are doing whatever they're doing, you unveil your master plot. But instead of the other players clapping and your DM backing down and crying because obviously you've beaten them, your DM lists a bunch of reasons why your plan doesn't work. Reasons that they obviously just made up on the spot. And the other players, I mean, they're just annoyed because they weren't included. I mean, come on, you didn't need them. Your plan was genius. They've clearly turned against you. All that's left is to swear vengeance! I hate this. And I see it way too much. I mean, obviously, a lot of these stories come from places like D&D memes, which frankly you probably shouldn't be taking seriously. But a lot of new people go to subreddits like that. I mean, there are people who get introduced to tabletop role-playing games just through the in-jokes. And I think through stories like this, it builds a culture of people that are the complete antithesis of what you're supposed to be doing at a TTRPG. Seriously, there is nothing wrong with coming up with an epic, amazing plan against your enemies. But, number one, you're fighting the big bad evil guy, the enemies in the game. You shouldn't be trying to fight your dungeon master. And to that end, it's so annoying when people keep these plans completely secret. In fact, it is my least favorite player habit and one I see far too much for what it is. So today, it's time to debunk another annoying thing way too many people do in their tabletop role-playing games. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's start out. Why is this so bad for DMs? Well, for starters, at its worst, this mentality where you keep your plans entirely secret from the dungeon master, not letting them know until the 11th hour when you want to execute everything. Look, it sucks because it comes from a DM versus player mentality. Let me make this clear. DMs can absolutely be against the players. There are DMs out there who will try to ruin all of your plans and act like douches and use DM fiat to ruin everything for you. But look, those DMs, they've got a lot more problems than just your plans going wrong. In fact, I think your entire game has a problem if you have a DM who's acting like this. You should probably not even stay in that game in the first place if you have a DM who is actively trying to work against all the other players. However, most DMs aren't like that. Good DMs that are worth their salt, they're trying to collaborate with the players. We want your plans to succeed. We want what you do to matter. But seriously though, we need to know what you're doing. Like seriously, what the hell are you doing? You don't look like a genius when you ask some leading question and then don't elaborate on what that question is leading to. It's just annoying. Let's take a specific example. You're at a noble gathering, and there is an enemy regent there who you and your party have been tasked to assassinate. You're sitting at one of the lower tables while the regent is at the high table. One of the players asks, "Is the regent drinking wine?" And the DM says, "Yeah, this is a dinner party. They're obviously drinking wine." And then, this player, they go silent. And then, as the other players are trying to plan out their plan, this one individual player says, "I am going to poison the regent." And they have plus 20 to sleight of hand or some crap like that. So, obviously, they're probably going to succeed, but as a DM, I'm not even letting them roll. Why? Because the regent is surrounded by guards. You're at one of the lower tables while they are at an upper high table in full view of all the guests. How are you even going to get up there? And do you even have poison in the first place? There are 1,000 problems with this plan that could have been elaborated on if you told me what the plan is in the first place. I understand the way this looks. As a dungeon master, I hate doing this. I like working with the the players. I mean, one of the coolest parts of being a dungeon master is seeing how players overcome the situations you put in front of them. And part of that is working with the players. Like, maybe this poison plan is ill-advised if you're trying to poison the goblet that the regent is holding, but maybe instead you could poison the wine in the cellar, which is less guarded. That is information that you would know, again, if you talked to your game master. Look, we often see this DM versus player mentality being shown from the player's perspective, where a DM has a hostile mentality. And again, that sucks. But the lesson from those stories is not that players should adapt the exact same mentality, because frankly, I see this player versus DM mentality way more, where players are the ones who are not trying to work with their game master, who think the game master is their enemy, and in so doing, they ruin the game for the game master. Look, we want to work with you, but you gotta tell us what's going on. And furthermore, you gotta be accepting when sometimes your plans aren't that good. Look, whenever I get a D&D meme in r/popular, because, like, God knows I'm not subscribed to that freaking subreddit, but the point is, whenever I get one of those stupid memes just offhand, like, whenever it's about some epic plan to make the DM cry, it's usually something that probably wouldn't work in my game. Like, I don't have the specific example off the top of my head, but, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, those plans are so confidently stated, but when you think about it for more than 5 seconds, it doesn't work. Like, I think more people need to accept the fact that sometimes their individual plans aren't that great. I'm not trying to be mean, but it is the truth. Like, sometimes people come up with these plans and they're so attached to them, and when the DM or the rest of the party tell them, like, look, that's probably not gonna work, they get really upset about it, and I just don't think that's a really healthy mentality to have. Like, as a DM, on the other hand, you should be helping the players. Like, if you hear a plan that's ill-advised, you should try working with that person to make it better. And as a player, you should be open to your plan becoming better. Don't become so attached to the exact form that you came up with in your head, because, again, it may not be that great, no offense. But of course, this all starts with you sharing the plan with the dungeon master. Now, this is not a problem for just the DM. I think it's also a major problem for the rest of the players as well. How is this a problem for the players? They're benefiting from my super awesome plan. Are they? Because this isn't a single player game, it's a collaborative one, and being left out is not very fun. Look, I get it. I love looking smart. Who doesn't like looking smart? We all want to be geniuses, right? But the truth is, when you're playing a tabletop role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons, it's a lot more fun when people get to participate in the plan. Hey, remember that wine poisoning example I said earlier? One of the big problems is there's a bunch of guards guarding the region, right? Well, what about the bard? The bard could do some crazy performance to distract the guards, and the wizard could cast invisibility to make sure that you can get up to the region without being seen. Those are ways that your party can help, but of course they can't help you if you don't tell them about the super epic plan, right? A lot of those stupid meme stories end as if the entire party is standing up to clap, but as a player, I would be just annoyed because I got left out. Look, single player games are fun, but I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot more happiness out of accomplishing something with a group, even as somebody who is incredibly introverted. Hell, actually, as an introvert, I think I get more happy out of accomplishing something as a group, because that's just simply not the norm for me, and the thrill of it is awesome. Like, yeah, beating the single-player game, God of War Ragnarok on hard mode, that was so cool, and it felt awesome to accomplish that task. But beating Last Wish back during Destiny 2 Forsaken, that was awesome because it was really a test of teamwork. And whether you like it or not, the vast majority of tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, they are collaborative games. And by engaging in the selfish mindset, you go against the very foundations of what makes this game fun. It is the exact kind of selfish mentality that leads to a lot of the most unfun min-maxing builds, for example. Like the infamous Paladin Warlock Darkness Smite Crit Farm build. Like, that build is so epic. You know, you cast Darkness, and you have the Warlock Dark Vision through the invocations, and you have Paladin Smite. You just go into the darkness, you have advantage on all your attacks, the enemy can't see you. It's perfect. But, I mean, it's perfect for you. What about everyone else in the party? Are they gonna have a lot of fun? Because they're probably gonna be blinded as well. And if this is in a small room, then, like, God, I guess they're all just waiting for you to do your thing. That sucks. Look, builds like that, playstyles like this, they are really great for the individual. But when you are playing a game like this, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about everybody working together. That's the point. And if you don't like that, I recommend you play something else. Okay, so we've talked about how this is a problem for DMs and for players, but like, what are we gonna do about it? I mean, I still want to look like a genius at the table. Don't worry. You still can, right? Let's get into the fix. It's simple, dude. Don't wait till the 11th hour. When you come up with a plan, tell everybody. And I know, for some people, it does feel a little unnatural. Like, your DM is objectively on the other side of that screen, and they are playing the enemies. There is a part of your brain that is thinking, like, look, the DM is going to use this information against me. But you trust your DM in so many ways, implicitly, right? Like, you trust your DM is going to use your backstory and not change your story in a way that's going to ruin it for you. You trust your DM is going to build encounters that are reasonable for you to accomplish. You trust your DM is just not going to have rocks fall from the sky and hit your head, right? Like, you trust your DM in so many ways through this game. Why can't you trust your DM with your plan? And on top of that, share your plan with the rest of the players and collaborate, work together. Like, I don't know about other DMs, but I totally allow my players to just meta-narrative talk above table about a lot of their combat plans, for example. I don't know if other DMs are going to let you talk above table in the same way, but talk to your DM about that. Communication is key. Ask your DM how you can share your plan with the rest of the players, because sharing this kind of thing is so much fun. Recently, one of my players came up with the idea of using our barbarian to scam a bunch of people out of money in a fake arm wrestling contest. I mean, it's a real arm wrestling contest, but like, the barbarian is entering and is obviously stronger than all these peasants, so he's gonna win and they can get tons of money. And the satyr player felt really great about this plan. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he didn't feel dumber about it because he told me in advance. He told me, told the other players, and they all felt really smart when this scheme ended with them getting 60 gold. It was really great. But the satyr didn't wait to tell me. The satyr didn't ask a bunch of vague questions for some big grand reveal. The satyr just told me. The big grand reveal is a cool thing in movies and television, but it's not cool here. It's just lame. It's selfish, and everyone feels better when they work together. So yeah, in summary, share your damn plan. Tell us what's going on, because I think everything's gonna go a lot more smoother for you if you do. Alright, there you go. This was a fun little video about a little thing that really bothers me. Hopefully, after this, I will see slightly less of those silly plans on D&D memes. Though I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I have that kind of influence, so I think I'm just gonna stay away from D&D memes forevermore, as I have been. I mean, we've been talking about good plans this entire video, and I think that is a great plan, to say the least. But in any case, if you guys enjoyed, then you may enjoy our latest episode of RPG Horror Stories. This one covered a bit of a strange ally during a D&D game. It's linked in the cards, and at the end, and in the description. But before you go, please do leave a like on this one and subscribe to Crispy's Tavern so you don't miss any of our content as it comes out. And finally, if you want to leave your own tips or thoughts, go down in the comments down below. If you can't think of a comment, leave the comment, the plan, to let me know you made it to the end of the video. In essence, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all next time. Farewell. I don't really know why I wave after saying farewell. Oh, jeez. My speaker's gonna... No, speaker, no!